Hello to all my blessed and beautiful people. My name is Brittany and I am back with another video. And this week is all about just encouragement for you to just trust God. Because it's easy to have faith in God when things are going right, when you feel like He's talking to you and you're hearing from Him clearly. But what about those difficult times when you don't see anything happening, when it feels like all hope is lost? Are you able to still trust Him and keep your faith in? Well, that is what this video is all about. Trusting God in those mundane moments when it feels like nothing's happening. You can't see nothing with your human eye. But I just want to encourage you that He's still working on your behalf. All right. Before we get into it, I always gotta ask, like, how you doing? Are you blessed? Are you doing well? Or are you having a not so good kind of day? Because of course that happens. We're human. Just know that I'm praying for you. Just know that be encouraged. Things shall get better. Keep your faith. Whatever you need to do to pour back into you, self-care and love on you, because it's gonna get better, friend. All right. All right, like I said, this whole channel is all about encouraging you. And each week I'm trying to be intentional about pouring back into others because I watch a lot of content that pours back into me. So I wanted to be able to just share, in my little corner, just some encouragement, because we all need encouragement from time to time. And I want to ask you, like, what do you do when you are going through, you feel stressed out, you're praying about certain situations and you're praying about certain issues, and it looks like nothing's happening. It looks like it's just the same thing day in and day out. But I want to encourage you to keep your faith. In those moments when it feels like nothing is happening, it feels like God is not hearing your prayers, it feels like all hope is lost. In those moments, that is when you are growing your faith. If you're staying committed to God, if you're trusting in Him, no matter what, just know that your faith is you're growing your faith in those moments, because that is when, like, the rubber meets the road, like things are coming together. And even though you cannot see it with your human eye, God's word tells us that all things are working together for our good. So those difficult moments is when you are growing in your faith. So be encouraged that you can't get discouraged in those moments. Whatever you need to do to keep your faith, whether you need to get into the word, you need to call a friend, you need to get some encouragement elsewhere, whatever you need to do, whether you need to view some content that pours into you. You need to keep your faith. You need to be encouraged. And you should have like a list of things that you do to encourage yourself. Are you going to God's word and you speaking those affirmations over yourself? You're reading scriptures and praying those scriptures for yourself. Whatever you need to do to pour back into you, you need to have like a go-to list of things that you can do in the moments when you feel despair, when you feel like you're not encouraged in those moments, when you feel like all hope is lost. Whether you need to pray, whether you need to call on a friend to pray for you. What do you do in those times? I feel like you need to have a game plan, Okay, so your game plan might be, okay, if I'm feeling this way, I'll call this friend. Or if I'm feeling this way, I'll say this particular prayer. Or if I'm feeling this way, I know I can pour back into myself if I go out in nature and just feel God's presence. Whatever you need to do that's going to work for you, do that to keep your faith, friend, because it's important. We are human. And in this human experience, life is hard. I was just talking to my mom earlier today and reminding her, like, we're all going through things. We're all struggling. And it's like, either we are going through a storm, we are getting ready to go through a storm, or we're just getting out of a storm. It's a conscious thing. But when you are a believer, what we can be excited to know is that in the midst of our trials, in the midst of the fight, in the midst of what we're going through, you're going to have the victory. So that in itself should be something to get excited about. But I know, like you know, we're humans. And in the midst of it, when you're in the fight of your life, you still got to do the fight. You still have to go through and receive those punches from time to time. There's still going to be hard and difficult times. I cannot lie to you that on this Christian walk, it's not easy. And nobody said that it would be. But what we can rest assured is we know that God is with us every step of the way. And when you're going through, when you're struggling, He will intervene. If you pray about it, He'll send somebody to give you a word of encouragement. He'll send somebody, you'll come across a testimony and it will bless your soul and just reignite you just a little bit more, give you a little bit more strength to get through your day. He'll send somebody to give you a compliment or a word of encouragement. He'll give you exactly what you need in that moment. If you're praying and you're asking, He will make a way for you. I promise you. That I can say, I'm a witness to that. But it is hard. It's life is hard. It's not this easy, wonderful thing just because we have Jesus. But it is doable. With God, all things are possible. And if you keep your faith, you keep pushing, you keep trying, it's gonna get better, friend. As I'm talking to you, I'm being reminded of a time where I remember during that time when everybody was home, you know that time I'm talking about, right? Where everybody was home, we're in shelter, we're in place, and we're all home, okay? So at that particular time, me being an educator at that time, being a teacher, we were all teaching from our kitchen tables, from your office, a quiet space in your home. Everybody was teaching from your home. And I remember being fearful in the moment and really not knowing, because I just didn't feel like they cared for my life and my safety. And, because they were trying to push us all back into the classroom, and we didn't quite know exactly, especially early on, how this was going to work, what was going to happen. We didn't know. And a lot of people were, getting sick, and, a lot of people were passing in those times. But, so I remember just asking the Lord and also feeling like I just knew God had more for me. I love teaching, and I'll always be a teacher at heart. But in that moment, I remember praying and asking God, like, Lord, I just want more for myself. I want to be, in a place where I feel like I'm truly making a difference. And of course, as a teacher, you're making a difference in the kid's life. But I just saw over the years that I taught, it was changing. It was just changing. And I wanted a change in my life. I wanted to at least be accepting. I probably would have been a mother by now if I wouldn't have gone into teaching. It kind of just, I always, especially early on, would tell my parents, like, going into teaching, especially working with younger kids, early childhood, that stage. It really was, for a while, it was like the best birth control I've ever come across, to be honest. But I just wanted a change from my life. And I wanted, I wanted to want to have kids one day. I wanted to, I just wanted more for myself. And I remember being fearful and like, Lord, I didn't even see, what I could do outside of teaching. I didn't know what direction the Lord wanted me to go in. But I remember praying and asking God to help me, to be able to leave teaching one day. And in that moment, during that particular time when we were all home, the answer the Lord gave me, I did not like. It was no. It was no. And I realized in hindsight that he still had lessons in that season of life for me. I had to learn things. I had to go through some more things. So even though you're going through difficult times, you might be praying and you feel like you're losing hope and your faith is lost, but just keep pushing, friend, is what I'm saying. Because in that moment, God told me no. But little did I know that that 4 years later, he would prepare me to leave my job, and he would actually prepare me to be living in a different place where I wasn't paying rent, where I wouldn't be struggling. You know what I'm saying? So he prepared me to be able to leave. So in that moment, it was no, but it wasn't like a no forever. It was just like a not yet. So I know that might be, of course, very different from whatever your situations may be that you're going through. But the Lord, you might be praying about an issue, and it might be a no, not right now, not yet, but he'll prepare you for it. So keep praying those prayers. Keep asking God. It's okay. Give God the desires of your heart and the things that you want, and then to just ask and be okay with, Lord, but whatever your will is for my life, be okay with his will for your life, because it's always going to be better through God's lens and God's way. So I just hope that this encouraged you today, that whatever you're going through, whatever situation you've been praying about, you've been stressing about, you've been fearful about, give it to God in prayer and continue. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. Continue to pray for those things. But in the end, realize, Lord, whatever your will for my life is, let that be done. Because God is preparing you. There's a journey that you must go on to receive the blessings that you're praying for, to receive that breakthrough that you're praying for, to receive whatever that thing is that you're praying for. He's going to prepare you for that thing so that you can sustain it, so that you'll be able to not fumble the ball. You'll be able to walk in it, and for it to be a blessing to you and not a hindrance. So God will prepare you for the things that you are praying for. I really hope that this blessed you today, and just for you to keep your faith, even in those mundane times where you feel like nothing's happening, you feel like your prayers aren't being answered, and that maybe God forgot about you. He didn't, friend. I promise you, he did not forget about you. And when it looks like nothing is happening, just know God hears you and he cares. And in those moments, that is when he has already worked out your situation. You just have to go through the process to receive the blessing, to receive that breakthrough. So hold on to your faith, even when it looks like nothing is happening. I hope that encouraged you this week. That is kind of what I needed to hear this week from myself. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll be back next Saturday, and check out some of those shorts throughout the week. All right, until next time. Remember to love on you like only you can love on you, and the only person that can love you more is your Creator. Have a blessed week. I'll be back next Saturday. Bye.